After 2021, when the best thing you could do is invest your money into something that was as futuristic as Bitcoin, who would think that in 2022 we would get to the basics so quickly? And the best asset that you could buy is wheat. Don't you agree with me? I couldn't believe in it either. But it seems pretty certain to me now. Let me try to prove it to you too. Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Anastasia, and on this channel I talk about investing, and especially investing for beginners. I don't really know what to make out of this video today. It's quite funny but very sad at the same time. It's my personal trauma, as well as wheat shortage will be caused by the war in Ukraine, and I'm Ukrainian. But no, it doesn't really matter where you are from, because we all will suffer. And investing into commodities such as wheat and corn could be a good way to reduce the losses that we all will experience in the coming years. The wheat crisis, it's not new. It's been going on for about 5 years. But this year is very unique, and I think investors who trade these commodities will make more money than those trading cryptocurrencies. So if we look at the price increase of the main commodities this year, we will see that the price of wheat has increased by nearly 70%. The price of palm oil has gone up by 74.14%, the price of milk by 38.55%, cotton 67%, coffee 68%, orange juice 58%, oat 98%, and corn 34%. I understand it's normal for cryptocurrencies to grow by this much, but honestly I think everyone who is subscribed on my channel because they are after cryptocurrencies, you have to shift your attention a little bit and look at such really basic and simple things that people will always need. I honestly don't think that this year people will concentrate on Bitcoin and Ethereum. I really think that people will have to get back to the basics and start thinking about investing into wheat, corn, or any other grains, and maybe not just invest into a fund and trying to make profit out of it, but maybe just go to the shop and honestly buy a sack of flour just to make sure you have something to eat in the next year. I'm not talking about developed countries like Europe or America, but I think there is going to be a big problem. And if you want to know more about it, please read the UN report on what's going on with the hunger in the world and what risks we have this year. But if you don't want to get depressed, then just trust my word, they predict it's not going to be easy or good. First, let me explain why I think there will be wheat and corn shortage in the next years, which will obviously bring the price of these commodities up. And then we will talk about how you can profit from it and how to invest into these assets. As you probably know, the war between Russia and Ukraine started on the 24th of February, and as of the 17th of April, which is when I'm filming this video, it still is going on and there is no end in sight. You also probably know about how Belarus is involved in the whole mess. If you think that these countries are far from the place where you live geographically, you might be right, but practically they are much closer than you think. According to the UN, Ukraine was the world's 6th largest exporter of wheat in 2021, with a 10% share of the market, shipping about 20 million tons of wheat. Ukraine also accounts 13% of the barley market, 15% of maize market, and is the most important player in the market for sunflower oil, over 50% of the world's trade. And if in 2022 Ukraine fails to grow and harvest the wheat or other grains, it will certainly affect the price. When will this happen? Well, some people think that it's going to happen straight away, right now. But that is not the case. Last year's harvest has been very good, and the only problem that some farms are having now is how to sell it. The real problem, though, will start next year, because at the moment Ukraine is already reporting that the third part of all the fields that are suitable for sowing campaign were occupied, mined, burned. I know the majority of my viewers don't read Ukrainian language, but trust me, this is exactly what this article says, so they're no good for sowing anymore this year. And even if the war stopped today, I would have very big doubts that Ukraine would be able to sow as much grains as in previous years. The problem will probably become evident next winter, the winter 2022 to 2023, which is when I expect the wheat price increase. Another problem that Ukrainian farmers are already reporting is the lack of gasoline, meaning they cannot go into the field even in places where it's safe, and this is where we move on to Russia. After sanctions, Russia started to pull on the most painful strings for the rest of the world almost immediately. They already said that they will limit the export of wheat, rye, barley and corn. And the total export of Russian wheat takes 15% of the world's market. And even if you don't read Russian, trust me, this is exactly what this article is about. So interestingly, the biggest 5 buyers of Russian wheat are Turkey, China and other countries of Middle East. So Europe might not get that affected by it, but it will definitely be reflected in the world's price of wheat. Well, altogether though, these 3 countries produce about 30% of the world's wheat for export. So you can imagine how it's going to affect the price. So the main question for today is it still the best time to invest into wheat? Unfortunately, no. We might be already a bit too late. Just the day the war started, investors have already invested into wheat and the price has skyrocketed. It would be really helpful to see the future right now, as the future price will mainly depend on how quickly the war will end. And there is no answer to that, at least I don't have one. What will happen to the price of wheat then? It's also hard to predict, but as always we can at least look and analyze the historical graphs. And the historical data says that during the years of the First World War, the price has nearly tripled. So judging by this stat, there is still plenty of potential for the price of wheat to grow. So if you decide to invest into wheat, what's the best way to do it? There are several platforms in the UK that allow you to invest into wheat. If you decide to use one of them, by the way, please use the affiliated link that I will leave in the description box below this video. But anyhow, these are the apps that I've used myself. So let's look at the main advantages and disadvantages of each platform in particular. And the first, and I think the easiest place where you can buy wheat is eToro. You can trade it as a commodity, but be prepared that the lowest trade-in size is going to be $1,000. There are no extra fees for this CFD trade, which is good, but I am a little bit concerned about the size of the minimum trade. Also, your trade will expire at a certain day, and right now the next day when the trade is going to be automatically closed for you, if you still have it opened, is the 27th of April. But if you're watching this video after that date, there will be a new day for closing this trade, and you will be able to check it by clicking on the Learn More button. You can also invest into wheat on eToro through a fund. Just search by its name WEAT. It is also a CFD trade, but there is no overnight fee and no weekend fee. As you can see, they're all zero. But the really good thing here is that the minimum size of this trade is only $10, so you don't have really to risk that much money. You can also trade corn on eToro through investing into a fund, and the situation with corn is very similar to the situation with wheat, so you might consider investing into corn as well. But at the moment of me filming this video, the price of corn is at its peak, whilst the price of wheat has gone down by a little bit. So right now, right this moment, I think wheat is a better investment than corn. Okay, so another place where you can invest into wheat or corn is the platform called XTB, and this platform was awarded many times for being the best platform for trading CFDs. When you invest into a commodity, this is exactly what you are trading. You are trading a CFD. If you don't know what a CFD is, please watch this video here. So with XTB, the minimum size of your trade is going to be 302 British pounds for corn and 337 pounds for wheat. But of course, it's going to depend on the price of these two commodities on the day when you decide to invest into them. But you can see that the minimum volume of your trade is 0.01. And then you can see that the spread for the wheat is 1 pip which comes to 3.07 pounds, and the spread for corn is 0.38 pips, which comes to £1 and 38 pence. It's totally up to you, you decide which platform you like more. I will also tell you about one more platform which is very popular in England. I haven't used it myself because I find it rather expensive, and let me show you why I think so. So this platform is called Hargreaves Lansing, and out of the platforms that I'm mentioning in this video, this is the only platform that offers you to open a stocks and shares ISA, and you can also trade WEAT here. But let's look at the charges. So it is based on you investing into WEAT through an ISA, stocks and shares ISA, for 5 years and assuming a 5% growth. So if you invest £5,000, your platform charges will come up to £146. Remember that it's over 5 years, not 1 year, where the management charge is 0.45%, which comes to £122, and then the entry dealing charge and exit dealing charge is nearly £12, and this price is not going to change no matter how much money you invest into this fund. And then the next group of charges is called investment charges. So the net initial charge is 0, but the net ongoing charge is 0.99%, which comes to £268. So the total charges over 5 years are going to get to 415, average annual charge of 1.52%, which is relatively high, but again, it's going to depend on how much money you want to invest into this asset and into this platform, because due to the advantages that the stocks and shares ISA gives you, this might be the best and the most economical option for you. Okay guys, thank you for your time and attention today, and I'm sorry for such a bit of a sad video and depressing video. For me it is anyway, because the topic of hunger, the world hunger, just makes me quite sad. I hope to see you soon in my next video. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.